What's up, beautiful people? You already know who this is. This your boy Levar, aka Ramzie, the editor-in-chief of Snub Magazine. And today we have a special guest. On the sit down, I don't introduce our guests. We let our guests introduce themselves. So without further ado, I'm gonna let one of the three introduce themselves. Who wants to go first?
I will go first. My name is
Awesome.
Onyx Keesha. I am a producer, a director, a writer, an actress. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm really excited about this interview in this movie.
Awesome. Awesome.
Well, I
Go
guess
ahead,
I'll
baby.
go next. I am B. Danielle Watkins. I am too a writer, producer, actress, director, all the things. I'm extra hype about this. I can't wait to see how this interview and stuff goes. So I'm just excited for us to be here.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Rodney Chester. Most of you know me from Noah's Ark. I played the character Alex. Um, I am a actor. I'm a former dancer, but I'm an actor and a producer as well. And just very excited to be with you guys, as the ladies say. And I'm just excited about this film. We are totally excited and so ready for the world to see.
Absolutely. Well, one, thank you guys for coming on the sit down today. I'm super excited to have you all. We're going to jump right into it. Like I tell my guests all the time, this is not an interview. It's a conversation. So if you ever want to interrupt, say anything, add more to it, by all means, please do so. So let's start off. Let's start from the beginning. How did this all come together? Because number one, I'll give you a background on me. My undergrad, I went to Howard, and my undergrad is in television and film. And so when these things come about, sometimes it's a true story, sometimes it's a story that we want to tell of another person, and then we start building the characters, and then we start looking at who these characters are. But let's jump right to the beginning. How did this all come about?
Well, I guess I'll slide in here on this. Um, about, oh my gosh, it's almost been 3 years now. About 3 years ago, Onyx and I were in a meeting with our distributor at the time, and they were looking at their board, and we were trying to, get more work out of them. And they were looking at their board, and what they were missing was a romance thriller in
Mhm.
general. However, with Onyx and I being lesbian filmmakers creating Black lesbian content, the idea came across, well, dang, okay, we can do a Black lesbian romance thriller. And, for those who do know me, I'll kill somebody in a minute. I love that kind of writing, right? So I
No
was like,
lies
oh,
told. No lies told.
I kill somebody quickly. But when they said that, I was like, oh, I'm gonna kill that. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yes. Absolutely, yes, we'll take that on. Fast forward, as far as the story is concerned, and they no longer wanted to be the producers of it.
Mm.
And we felt that it was too strong of a story. It was too for in the forefront of what we are missing as Black lesbians. It was too much of everything that we are for us not to do it. Enter how we got Rodney. Um, big Noah's Ark fan since 2005. Let's be clear.
Yeah,
Since the
definitely.
first moment that it came out, I've been a big Noah's Ark fan. And not no shade to anybody else in the cast. We love all of them, but Rodney was somebody, and his character was somebody that I felt more connected to throughout the years, and watching and being a part of just, Rodney and I had met at the Jumping the Broom premiere in
Mm.
2008. And once social media became a thing, I started sending messages here and there, whatever, whatever. We connected. He had to get a new Instagram, and he popped back up. And I was like, okay. And he asked me if I was still directing. I said, oh, that means he was paying attention. We
Yeah.
need to figure this out. We need to figure this out yesterday. And he was like, I'm still interested in what you're talking about. I said, yeah, I got a script for you. But ultimately, we were still deciding what was happening with Duplicity.
Mm.
And then as I was creating and I was writing, I said, yeah, he's going to be in the movie. So let me tailor this character to this person. And then now here we are.
Got you.
And you know what? I'm playing a detective,
Right.
and you mad.
But you tapped on something actually. A lot of times people don't understand how long this process is. A lot of
Mhm.
times people jump automatically and like, oh, I have an idea, and then tomorrow it's going to be filmed. That's not realistic in many cases,
At all.
you know?
At all. Let's be clear. At all. We have movies that it took 10 years to create. The
Yeah,
script was written 10 years before it saw anything. So reality is this particular film from writing to filming was a very short time.
right.
I wrote it in 2024. We filmed in 25. Our premiere is in 2 weeks. So it could have been a lot longer. But you're
Right.
right. People do have the misconception that boom, 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 boom. And then also on the other side of that, they think once it's filmed, it's gonna come out next week.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And also, it also brings up the purpose of aligning with people, right? Because you were saying you wanted Rodney, and all of a sudden the Instagram, whatever happened in that moment, but then it came back into fruition where you were able to connect again, and he knew exactly who you were. That's just aligning right there to say that film was supposed to, and it was already preordained of what's going to come, correct? So, but let's jump right into it. If anybody wants to jump onto it, can we talk about, well, I want to go back, to a specific thing too. Representation. That is something that is key what I'm seeing in this moment. And even behind the scenes when I looked over, different things, representation all across the board. How important is it that we see ourselves in film, in theater, in books, and whatever it is? Especially in this climate that we're in right now.
Let me just say, I would like to say this. You are so right, and that was honestly a big part of why I reached back out to Danielle. Because I get stuff all the time. So you kind of weed through stuff. But what interests me so much about it was the pick of it was a lesbian film.
Right,
I had never worked on a set like that. And they were great. It was amazing to be on a set with all that representation of who they are. And I came on the set for dealing with the other side when it was all guys.
right,
So this was something that was interesting to me, and it was a different in a character type because I always get like comedic stuff. So this was something that was interesting to me. So you're absolutely right when it comes to representation, and I love the script. I love what the ladies did, but then after I met them and saw the production, I went into this wholeheartedly with heart, energy, and wanting them, and they looking at me like, "Are you okay right now?" I'm like, "Honey, I'm fine. What do y'all need me to do?" You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine. I'll sit here and be quiet. I
right.
stay in my lane. I don't say nothing. And they was asking me questions. I'm like, "I'm okay. I'm good. I'm just sitting here relaxing or whatever." But it's true though, and representation is so important, and that's why I came aboard with these ladies, and I wanted to do anything in my professional lifetime as an actor, with whatever I can do because I see them, I understand them, and I think these stories need to be told. Because I even talked to Patrick. I said, "You need to add some lesbians in here," and he was like, "I do." So you know what I mean. So it's a part of all that. So that's what I want to say.
And
Okay.
for us, representation really is the foundation of our production company. Um, we really strive to highlight queer, Black, lesbian stories. And we are seeing how rare that even is, even now, even today, and a lot of times those movies only show like a segment of us. And we are about, let's show all of us because we can absolutely do the very specific niche lesbian film. And we could also do a romantic thriller, you know? So it's like representation is so important to us, and how it shows up just by us showing up is significant because just like Rodney said, he came on set and it was like, whoa, this really is a Black lesbian production. company,
Hmm.
and we really try to push that.
Definitely. Let's jump right into the name, the title. How did the title form to it to come about? And just the overall concept of it. How did that become? Because a lot of times I think too, sometimes we'll come up with a name of a project, and then something happens when we're taping or when we're writing, and it's like, no, that or someone says something. So how did that come about with the name of it?
9 times out of 10, my movies are named before I
Mm,
write. So what happens is I'm thinking about what that looks like, right? So
right.
my writing process is very interesting. Onyx be telling my stories like, I start pacing, it turns into this whole thing because I need to get my brain going, right?
Right.
So when I come up with the name, that means I already know something.
Mm,
So, the definition of duplicity is obviously dual something.
right.
So how do I take the thought of duality and create a story that is riveting, that is confusing, because you don't want people to then find out, like to be in the middle of the movie and be like, I know what happened. Like,
Right.
so then you have to be clever while still staying true to what the true root is. And the true root of it is a dual something.
Right.
So that's how I came up with the name and the thought process of, okay, a romantic thriller. Somebody needs to be in love, somebody needs to die, and there needs to be a level of, okay, duplicity. What is intersecting? What is the parallel lines? What are intersecting lines? And how does that look?
Definitely. And when you talk about we on something you guys tapped on, when you talk about the casting of, the characters, um, a lot of times in our community, we get typecasted, right? We have either it's the gay male and he's super feminine, right? And he's this way coming down or looking a certain way. Or we have a lesbian and it's always this stud with a short haircut with the fade. How do um because from what I've read and what I've seen, and I'm excited to see it myself, how do you make sure that you can't always cover all areas, but how do you make sure in something like this, you're already stepping outside of the typecasting anyway. You're doing a romance thriller, right? Most of the times we're either seeing us cheating, breaking up, a fight. Like that's the that's the cue, right? But how did you make sure that it represented in all aspects? The people say, you know what, I see myself in that area.
I'm going to be honest. And it's funny because I never think about that.
Right,
I just tell the story.
right.
I just tell the story and I just tell the story as is. Like what was funny was for Christmas, two of our Christmas movies were on the CW and we didn't know. And the first thing Onyx said to me was, well, what if it's not on there because it's gay? It never even crossed my mind that that was an issue.
Mm,
So when it comes to representation, as far as seeing yourself, we're normal people. So
right,
when I write as normal people. These are just normal people, different type of stories with different characters. We all have different types of people in our lives, and the representation is just that. So some of our movies, people see themselves. Some of our movies, they don't.
right,
But at the end of the day, when we're going into it, lesbian is the undertone.
right,
It's so many other themes and there's so many other things that we're projecting. This is a romance thriller that happens to be Black lesbian, which is amazing. But we could take this same script and give it to white people and it'll look exactly the same because it's about the story.
right,
That's how we have authentic representation because we're not targeting a specific anything. Does that
right.
make sense?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you tapped on it because that's what I'm hoping you were. Like I said, we're pulling stuff because I think a lot of times, like I said, a lot of times we sit and watch films and we see ourselves, or it's like this is a story that's been told. Everybody has the same story. We're all living a human experience, right? But why are we labeled as this throughout it? Everybody goes through this. Everybody goes through heartbreak. Everybody goes through certain things happen. Why is that always the key element of what it is? We just so happen to be that, right? Um, what as far as let's go I'm gonna ask Rodney this question real quick. Your character is Detective Marks. He's investigating a disappearance, but also navigating emotional truth, if what I'm seeing correctly. How did you balance that in your script and with vulnerability inside of that, creating it becoming who that detective was?
You know what? I'm so glad you asked me that. Just for the simple reason that it goes back to what I said earlier and what you just touched on again about getting stereotyped, right?
Mm.
And I know personally, and I thank God for it honestly, and I'm happy for it as an actor to continue to work. Everything that I've done, TV shows, guest star, movie, whatever, it's always been comedic. So that's why I said, for me, stepping into this role, what it meant for me as an actor, it gave me some wings to say, because I used to say to Patrick, and this isn't about Noah's Ark, this is about duplicity, but I did say to Patrick, why do I have to be funny all the time? Can I have a little bit? So he gave me a little bit more meatier stuff so that it wasn't so comical, even though I was the comic relief of the show, right? So I understood that. So when I had this opportunity to come in and step in here, I did my research. I didn't just read it. I loved it, but I also wanted to embed the character as much as not for me, but I wanted to give them exactly what they created as far as writers and content, and I wanted to make sure that I exuded that. So we was doing some things, and they was laughing. They was like, "Rodney, you really are in that character." I said, "Absolutely." I say because
The way he hit
I
that
I,
gun
I
move, he hit us like this. He one time, I said, "Oh, you've been practicing that. You've been waiting the whole time to come put this
I've
gun
been
up for
waiting.
us."
I've been waiting the whole time. So, as an actor, to answer your question, it was something deeper to me than being in it, being asked, or whatever. I looked at it for something totally different. That's why when I came on set, I did my research. Except for the last night, but I did know all my lines. I knew that what I needed to do, and my goal was to make them proud and happy for my performance, but also did the character as BD real wrote it. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to, and as actors, we learn that in theater school and different things, whatever character you get, you have to completely commit and embody that character. If you play funny characters and this is a more serious character, my whole expression was this the whole time. It was no, you know what I mean? Because I just felt like that was not that character unless they told me to soften it or whatever the direction was. So to answer your question, it was just about me being in the space, knowing what the role is, being a part of it, and then on top of all that, being excited about the role as an actor. You know what I mean? So for
Definitely.
me.
I have a question for each one of you. I'm gonna let each one of you answer this. What conversations do you hope couples, friends, and even families have after watching this film? And anybody can go first.
Well, for me, I think I simply want the audience to enjoy it. I want them to be on the edge of their seats. I want them to, try to figure it out. And then when it's revealed, to like really have like this shock moment. I think what is a little deeper than that is assessing the relationships in your life, and how envy and jealousy really play a part in how people act and how they treat you, and how some of the things that happen can happen. And I think lastly, um, I want our audience to look at this and say, I could do that, whether it's writing, directing, producing, acting. Like, I know whenever I go see a movie in the movie theaters, I am so inspired. It doesn't even matter the content of the movie. So for this to be made by us, I want that to also be a part of the conversation that's had.
Definitely.
I don't really know. I don't really know what conversations, because the conversations that I look forward to is when people walking out of the theater at the premiere, and the whispers and the reactions, and hearing, when you're sitting in the theater and hearing those moments. Those are the things that I think about. I don't really think about the conversation later. I
Mhm.
think about everybody that's when they turn the movie on, even when it comes on at home, when they turn the movie on and people talking to the screens, them type of
Yeah.
conversations, just that commentary more so than conversation are the things I think about. I don't know about conversation wise what I want the audience to do.
Which is good because a lot of times you're given this it's different aspects of what people may be looking at, like some of us are connected at watching. Like me, I'm the type of person, because I'm a student of film. I sit there sometimes and be like looking at the set. I be looking at, is the character really in this part? Are they really a family probably outside of this? Like, like I'm connecting other ways. So I get where you're coming from with that. Rodney, do you want to answer that
Oh
question?
no.
No,
Oh, well, for me, um, it's always been crowd crowd appeal, and of course crowd opinions. So for me, as the character that I played, I always over exuded myself to fans. I tried to be approachable. I tried to, because the importance, and not name dropping, but I have a really, really good friend that's really famous. And she told me, she says, Rodney, always be nice to your fans, no matter what. Always have a moment. You may not feel it, but always have a moment and make sure you have that connection with whatever it is. So for me, it's just the excitement, and it's so funny that you brought it up because I was gonna mention to the ladies how I met B Danielle when she came to see Noah's Ark Jump in the Broom. We surprised the cast. I mean, we surprised the guests, and we were standing outside interviewing people when they came out and asked them what they thought. So I thought about, oh, we should do that for Duplicity. But anyway, that's a call that I'm going to talk to the ladies about. But it's all of that interaction with fans and hearing their response and seeing what they thought. And like the lady said, because the script is amazing, it is phenomenal, and I think people are going to love it because people like suspense anyway. So I think the meat of all of this is just really hearing the thoughts and how they feel about it, and just seeing your work show what it is, and let everybody make their decision, because everybody's not going to like it. Everybody's going to have an opinion, and that's fine. There's no problem. That's what America is, but we have to put forth that effort to make people understand what it is, what we're trying to relate to you guys, and try to get a sense of understanding, because this stuff doesn't happen, and they will be the first. So whenever you're the first of something, it always changes the dynamics of people's thought process, because people always going to want to judge it. And this is the first because they did it with us with Noah's Ark, but because we were the first. So with these ladies, again, I'll just say this quickly: they are smart, beautiful, and intelligent women, right? So, with that being said, they do the work. They're creators. So, of course, you want to hear the feedback. You want to hear what people think and what they thought or whatever, you know, good and bad, indifferent, whatever. But they're talented at what they do,
Right.
and they're just trying to tell stories. And if you don't like it, write a story,
That part.
baby, because I get them together, baby. I
Right.
said, well, baby, if you don't like what we doing, baby, go ahead and get you a pen and pad and write you a story, and see how hard it is.
Yeah. Definitely. So on the sit down, we switch it up another part at the end. Since there's a number three in snub at the end of it, we have three questions, fun questions for you all, that we want each one of you to answer. The first question is, what are three words personally that best describe who you are as an individual?
Okay, I can go first. That's easy.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, I'm chill.
Okay.
I am full. What's the word for I'm full of integrity. Chill, and I'm integral and creative.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Well,
Onyx.
Yeah. I will say I'm dramatic.
Okay.
Um, I
DJ, yes,
too,
yes, indeed.
I too am integral and creative.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, and I get this honestly, my parents always told me that she say, Rodney, you are a Chester to your heart, and that is how I am with people. I naturally have a sense of that. I've always been a leader, never been a follower in a good way, though. I've always just been a leader. People have always been attracted to me in that way. And I guess just keeping, as the ladies have said, the integrity of who I am. I've always been Rodney. All my classmates from school, from college, that hit me up, they say, Rodney, you still the same. So that means a lot to me. So that's what I pride myself on, staying
O-
true to who I am.
Okay. And the second one is if you could be in anybody's shoes for 24 hours, past or present, whose shoes would you want to be in and why?
I guess I'm just gonna answer all of them
Go
first.
ahead. We'll let you go first each time. We'll go the same order every time for you.
Right. Honestly, myself.
Okay.
Um, because I guess my thought process is our own journey are ourselves. So for me to say I want to see what somebody else's journey was like would be a detriment to my thought process on my own journey. So I would want to just be in my own shoes, living this amazing life that I live. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I'm cool with staying me.
Yeah, and I would have to agree with that because we don't know what other people carry. Like all of these names went through my head.
Hmm.
Oprah, Beyonce, Jesus, all of these things. But we don't know their journey. We don't know what they carry. And that 24 hours could really be something that breaks us, breaks who we are or breaks how we perceive them. So, yeah, I don't know if I really have an answer for that. I love and on a good day, on a good 24 hours,
Right.
oh, I love it. I love my life. So yeah, that would have to be my answer as well, and not just because we're besties.
Well, I mean, I think a part of that is me as well. I have to agree. But I would honestly say my dad. And
Okay.
I guess the reason why I would say that is because he comes from a completely different world. He did not understand it. Like when I went to college, I graduated from Bethune-Cookman College. And I got there and basically, you don't know what you want to do, but I got into the theater and stuff. And my dad was like, if you think I'm gonna pay all this money for you to go dance somewhere and do all that, whatever, no, no, no. So the long story short of all of this is I just would like to get in his head because the only way he came around is when he saw me dance, and then he was like, "How did you learn to do all that?" And he was so impressed and went by his office. And my mom told me to go by his office. He had all these pictures of me dancing. I was like, "Gad." So I think I just would like to know, be in his space for 24 hours to see how did you come around? Because he's an old Georgia boy, you know what I mean? Didn't get it, didn't understand anything until he saw it. So I guess I would have to kind of want to see what was that thought process like for him, and maybe I can be in his shoes because I didn't get it. I didn't understand. I'm like, Dad, this is my life.
Right.
This is what I want to do. So that's what I was saying.
And we throw that question in there because we do want to see what other people's reaction are with it. Because it's like was said, you don't know what that person went through, right? You don't
You
know
don't.
the moment you're about to step into. You don't know if this was a time when they were broke or they were about to be homeless and they made the biggest decision right then, and you just messed that decision up. So now they are.
Right.
So that's why we play with that part right there. And our final question for this part is whether or not you notice, you guys are role models, and the world is watching. We on our end on what we do and how we portray ourselves or how we represent our community, right? We're representations, we're the faces of those things. What can you say to anybody that's watching today? Any empowerment or anything that's on your heart that you want to leave everybody that's watching today?
Whatever it is, do that shit. Period. Whatever it is. There, you can't move in fear. You can't
Hmm.
move in fear of the what if, because what if you don't do it, you don't know what's gonna happen anyways.
Right.
So you have to at least try to get to the next step. You have to. There's no other way. You know what I'm saying? So that's I tell people just do that shit. Whatever it is,
Right.
just do it. And if it don't work, okay, do it again. And if it don't work, okay. It has no testament to your value if it doesn't work.
Right.
It has nothing to do with you. You might need to readjust something, but that doesn't mean you're not worthy of whatever that is that end goal is. So do it.
So I have this saying, and it's fear it, face it, faith it. And I definitely want to say it's okay to fear it. Like that's natural, but you got to face it no matter what it is, you know? Um, and then faith it all the way through and repeat. Repeat the process, you know? Um, do it scared and keep God in the center of it.
And for me, I agree with the ladies as well. I've always told people in general, because I've had this question asked to me before, and I always would say to them, I mean, we joked around about it earlier when I say, "Will you write you a show?" And I actually was kind of serious about it. If this is something that I think, I think I'm special, but I think that what I do, anybody can do it. I mean, I may not do it my way, but anybody can do it. So, um, jokingly, like I tell these ladies all the time, they are so funny to me. And I say, I'm putting y'all on stage because you know what I'm saying? Like they are just funny to me. And people tell me I'm funny and I don't even think I'm funny. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But for me, I would just say, go for your goals. It even goes back to me when people say, oh, I can't afford to do this, I can't afford to do a trip. I say, anybody, if you really want to go to New York and you've never been to New York, plan it, save your money, and go to New York.
Yeah.
So when people just stay stagnant and they don't do anything, oh, I can't do this, I can't. No, 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 no. You have to put out the experience. You have to, and I used to tell people all the time, study the craft that you want to do or
Yes.
you're interested in and be the best that you can. When I was a dancer, I was on tour. When I got off tour, I still would go back to class. I was dedicated to still staying in that position, what I had to do and right now, I still go to acting class. I don't care. I still would take a class. So that's what I would say. Just be in the moment. And if this is what you want to do and you're interested in it, go for it. And like the lady said, it might not work, but pick yourself up and okay, next. Next.
Definitely, definitely.
Absolutely.
Um, I want to say thank you guys for speaking with us today. It was truly an honor. Thank you for the words of encouragement, letting us know about this film. We're excited to see it and continue to do the greatness. Because like you guys are saying, you know, speaking the words over people today, but over you guys, keep doing what you're doing. Because a lot of us are still watching it, even, like sometimes when whether or not we know it, we encourage one another, right? We don't know what a
Yeah.
person may be going through. We all work in this industry, but there may be days, I'll tell you, be honest, some days I don't even feel like getting out of my bed because I'm like, I don't want to deal with this mess today. Like, not today. Like,
Understood.
today I want to put on my hoodie, go outside, be regular, okay? Like, that's what, but then there's also that, like, you know what? If I don't do it, what's that little boy or that little girl that may be waiting for me to do that moment that I need to do and change everything up? So I appreciate you guys on today. Like I said, keep doing what you're doing. And thank you everybody for watching the sit down. Make sure you guys follow them. Let everybody know how they can also follow you guys as well, if you can do that for me.
Hold on real fast. I just want to make sure we had this in the recording, the HBCU love that's in this room right now. Because I went to Winston-Salem State and y'all talked about Bethune-Cookman and you said Howard, correct?
Brett
I
Howard.
just I just want to make sure that we're clear that
Yeah.
this is what black excellence looks like. This is what the talented 10th looks like. I
Absolutely.
just want to make sure we're clear on that and that they hear that and that these kids that are in these HBCUs and unsure are very aware that they can do it too. Now,
Absolutely.
what did you just ask me?
Let everybody know how they can follow you all or and how they can tune in to see this film when it's out.
Oh, I'm going first again. Um,
Pass the torch to you.
it, um,
You're first, baby.
my
Right.
Instagram is Black Butterfly, which is BLACBUTTERFLII, Black Butterfly. Everywhere else, you can just type in B Danielle Watkins, that will come up. And as far as where you can see the film, right now we have our premiere in Atlanta, February 28th. The film again is called Duplicity. So we will announce later on in the year. We have a lot of things planned for the film. We will announce then where it's going to land toward the end of the year.
Yes. And I am Onyx Keesha on everything. ONYXKEESHA. Um, and we are planning a Pride tour, which we're very excited about. So we cannot wait to share those details. And like B. Danielle said, at the end of the tour, we hope to be able to announce where you can stream us.
And okay, my platform is the Instagram, the real Rodney Chester, and then everything else you can find me under Rodney Chester. Um, as far as that, what was the other part of the question there? You said
It
I
was just
forgot.
hey, where the film can be
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Yes. The excitement is there. Our goal with this is called a B.OK experience. So we really want everyone to come out. Anything you guys can do, post it on your social for us, the flyer, the information. If do you guys have anybody in Atlanta that can come to the premiere?
I'm probably gonna most likely be down there since me and you had the conversation. So I didn't want to tell you I was gonna just pop up, but now that you done put me on
I would love for you to
nice
be there,
so
baby.
much, right?
I
Yes.
would love for you to be there to meet you in person because our goal is to make this an experience from people walking in the door to the red carpet to the VIP to the film to after the film talk back and then we're gonna do an after party. All of this is an experience that we want. So anything you guys can do, post it on your social. We can get you all the information. The girls can send you something about the film or whatever works for you. And just we want to push this. And also, we would love to be a part of the magazine, whether if it's the center cut, if you can get these girls in, because I ain't worried about me. I'm talking about them. So, whether if you can get them on the cover or get them in a center cut or something would be great because their stories need to be told and they are really, really, like I said, I'm their fan. I'm a fan
Yeah.
honestly. So that's where it rolls. So I would appreciate that, and we're just excited about the film. So yeah,
Definitely, definitely. Thank you everyone for tuning into the sit down. Like they said, follow, like, share. We're definitely going to whatever they have. We're supporting it here at Snub. So make sure you all do that. And as always, thank you for watching the sit down, and we can't wait for our next interview and conversation. Peace.
thank you. Bye.